Did you call bank? I call game.
What's good, podcast world, and welcome back to another installment of Charge It to the Game. As always, I'm your host, Rome. Got the fellas in the house, Z and J. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Hey, same old thing, bro. Back again,
bro. All right. Hey, it was a great show last show, man. I got a lot of a lot of feedback from people. People loved bantering back and forth, man. We was chatting about dude getting knocked out at the fucking Walmart, but it was fun, man. It was good to have a nice little laugh, and like I said, it happens sometimes. I mean, you just don't know. These hands. Sometimes you can get them at any and all times. But anyway, so we got a great show today, man. I think we're going to take a step back from some of the NFL divisional talk. This is going to be an NFL show today. So no basketball. I'm sorry, basketball guys. If you were looking to chime in for basketball, we will talk about NBA betting at the end. But we're mostly just going to talk about football. We're taking a break from the NFL divisional talk. We'll probably get back to that maybe in a few shows, but we want to do something a little special today. We want to talk about our top 10 receivers in the league. We're going to chat a little about that, and then our favorite football team. So for me, I'm a Bucs fan, Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Z's going to chat a little bit about his Steelers, and then Jay, he's going to be talking heavily about his Washington football team and his Raiders. So I guess without further ado, fellas, let's go ahead and jump in straight into the topic. So I guess which one of y'all want to give us your top 10 receivers in the league?
Well, here, I can get it started.
All right, that.
It's a passing game now. Yeah, passing game now. So the receivers are, well, you would think taking precedent, but based on the free agency signings, they've been a low priority in regards to signings with teams, but that could be based on the fact that there are a lot of quality receivers, both currently in the league and also coming up in the draft. I mean, it's a receiver-heavy draft. Mm-hmm. And so, from my perspective, just looking back on last season, I guess you can categorize the receivers in two different categories. The vets, who are consistent and have a previous track record, and then you got the young bucks coming in who have made their impact right away. In year one, year two, they're really putting their stamp on this league. For me, when I think of receivers, you got to start out with Deandre Hopkins out in Arizona. As soon as he joined that team, he basically gave Kyler Murray a lead dog to throw to. Always demanding a double team, but always even overcoming that and still making plays, still being that go-to guy. He can run any route in the route tree. He can provide you speed. He can provide you size. He may have the best hands in the game. And so just starting off, to me, the best receiver currently would be Deandre Hopkins. What do y'all think about it? Who's your top?
So for me, like I said, and just so everybody knows, so the list, like our list might vary. So some people might be like a more what have you done lately type of person. I'm not that dude. I'm more of a who's the best. Like, I'm not saying he's on my list when I get into it and dig into it. But for me, Odell, comes to mind. He didn't play. He got hurt last year. We know he's one of the better receivers in the league. Is he top 10? Maybe, maybe not. Or maybe even like Julio Jones. Is he on one of these guys' list? But for me, I'll give you my list, fellas. So for me, I'll start at number 10 for me. So number 10 is really, I guess I threw three people on there. So I have like a 10A, 10B, and 10C. So I got Thielen. I got Adam Thielen from the Vikings. I think Adam Thielen, he's shown he's a proven veteran receiver in the league. He's done it for a long time now. He's fast. And this is in an offense where he just got a feature receiver on the other side last year, the rookie. So I got Thielen number 10, 10B. I got Cooper Kupp from the Rams. Cooper Kupp, for a lot of people, he's a very under the radar receiver, man. I mean, Kupp, he's always consistent. He's always out there balling. And this is with Jared Goff, as your quarterback. And you saw how the Rams moved on from him. They didn't think he was good enough. And then 10C, I got Odell. So Odell, like I was saying, he's one of the better receivers in the league, right? I mean, he just was hurt last year. And then he has this run-heavy offense where, you can clearly see that Baker has that connection with Jarvis Landry. Where Odell does not have, that connection with Baker. So, but we're hoping for better days with Odell here in the future. So I got that as my 10 slot. Number 9, I got DK Metcalf. So DK, I mean, we all know DK. DK's huge, man. He's like 6'4", like 220. He runs a 4.3. He's incredible. He's given Russell Wilson life. And a big, huge, fast, athletic target to throw to down the field. I think we all saw, where he kind of got exposed in that divisional game when they played the Rams, and Ramsey, bit his head off. He showed the young kid, like, hey, some of these other dudes, these Darius Slay dudes, you might throw them around. These other corners, you might do that to them, but, I'm Jalen Ramsey. I'm cornerback 1. But yeah, DK, like I said, he's a young dude. I mean, so I think the sky's the limit for him. I have him number 9. Number 8, this might surprise you guys. And I want to hear your thoughts on my number 8 slot, Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, woo, man, like I said, I see him twice a year, being a Bucs fan. He's been his first few years in the league, he's just really lit the league on fire, and it's really gone unnoticed just because the fact that the Falcons suck. I mean, there's no point around it. They just
he was 4th in the league in receiving yards. 74 last year.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people don't know. I mean, Z, what's your feeling on the Ridley pick? Because I think that I don't even know. Like I said, I know you guys. I don't think you guys have him on your list. But just what do you guys think of my overall number 8 pick, Ridley?
Well, he takes advantage of Julio getting doubled, so he gets a single coverage. Matt Ryan finds him. He's a great route runner, and again, he was 4th in the league in receiving yards last year. So that's impressive.
Yeah, so I mean, Ridley's a beast, man. Like he's lit. I mean, you can't guard him. Like you said, he takes advantage of having that one-on-one matchup with the cornerbacks, with Julio being wide receiver number 1. But the crazy thing about it, last year Julio was out pretty much almost every game last season, with a very select few games where he played, and Ridley took on that number 1 corner. So when I look at that, it shows me that he's an elite receiver in the league. And now it puts the Atlanta Falcons in a spot where, hey, Julio's contract's coming up pretty soon. Do they want to extend Julio? They give, Julio's a great receiver, but he's getting a little older. Ridley can be that number 1 receiving threat down the field. Can nobody guard him, man? I mean, his routes are just monster. He might be one of the best route runners in the league. It's amazing. So I got Ridley number 8. I'm showing some love to my guy Keenan Allen, man. Keenan Allen, he's just been a consistent veteran in the league. He's dealt with the ups and downs of being with San Diego, now LA, not having consistent quarterback play, even though they did have when they had Phillip Rivers. But even with the young guy last year, with Herbert, I mean, he was out there balling, and he was dealing with some injuries. But Keenan Allen, I got him number 7. And then I got Tyrae Hill 6. Like, some people might grill me for this. Like, why you got Tyreek Hill at number 6? Like, I get it. You know what I mean? I just don't think Hill can break that top 5 over. I think you'll see why when I start rattling off guys. Like Hill, I think his success is more Patrick Mahomes based. Just being in that offense too with Kansas City, having the luxury, he has the luxury of playing with the best quarterback in the league, probably one of the top three coaching minds, offensive coaching minds in the league with Andy Reid. And then, you got Eric Bieniemy as your offensive coordinator. So, I mean, come on. I mean, like, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Really. So I think, and like I said, it's not a slight to Hill. I just got him number 6. I mean, you're still in the top 10. Well, at least my top 10. I just don't think you can break that top 5. And I'll jump here in my top 5 in a minute. So, now my number 5 guys, you guys might think different, but I got Julio 5. So people might say, man, Julio, he didn't even play last year. Like I said, my list is a little different. You guys might be more of a what have you done for me lately type of person. Where Julio didn't play at all last season for the most part. You might put Jefferson on this list. He ain't on my list. He's not a top 10 receiver in the league. He had a great season. But for Julio, I mean, Julio's a beast. I mean, I think we all know it. He's huge. He's still
you can't knock Jefferson. 3rd in the league in receiving?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like I said,
replacing Stephon Diggs and just stepping right in.
Hold up, bro. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, you got Thielen on the other side. Like, Thielen is still a beast. Like, he's not taking on that number 1 receiving threat. You know what I mean? Now,
if you compare, Thielen had 900 yards receiving, and Jefferson had 1374.
I'm about to say, I like Jefferson.
I like 1,400 yards receiving. I mean,
but you got to understand,
he's in my top 10 actually.
Right, and like I'll let y'all get to y'all, but check this out, bro. Like, come on, like. He only had 1 year of production. I know he had a rookie
1,400 yards receiving.
It doesn't matter, man. I'm just telling you, when you take on that number 2 corner, Juju found out. Juju found out what it was. He was like, "Oh, I'm the number 1 receiver." And boy, you got to expose. Sit your ass down.
In the last 5 years, there have only been 10 receivers who've achieved that. Justin Jefferson is one of them.
Yeah, but we're gonna see what he do next season. Like I said, look, podcast world, and whoever listens to the Charger to the Game podcast, Justin Jefferson is not on my top 10. You can say what the hell you want. You know what I mean? I got Thielen on there. Thielen is better than Jefferson because he took on the number 1 corner, and they're not shading coverages to his side. Stats and numbers sometimes do lie. Remember that. But like I said, for 5, I got Julio. So Julio's elite. Now, number 4, I got my boy Mike Evans. So Mike Evans, he's been consistent in the league. I think I read a stat, he's the only receiver in NFL history for each and every year he's been in the league, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver. I think nobody's done that in the whole entire history of the league. He's always been consistent. I couldn't remember, Z or Jay, maybe you guys can tell me. He came out in a receiver draft class when they had all those guys, right? When they had like the Odells and those guys, right?
Yeah, I think that was a draft. It was a heavy wide receiver draft that year. Yeah,
and I mean, a lot of people might not want to say. I think Mike's the best one. I mean, Mike is 6'5", probably 220 something pounds. I mean, he's incredibly fast. Yeah, and range. I mean, like you said, Jay, me and you argue back and forth all the time. Like, I don't think Mike, like you were saying, like Mike is like 1 or 2 in the league, but I just don't think Mike has to work on his hands a little bit. If you watch the playoff game with the Packers, I mean, he dropped a touchdown, and he dropped another he dropped another ball that led to an interception. Where we were headed down the red zone. But like I said, I still think he's elite. I got Mike 4. And then I got my guy Diggs from Buffalo. Man, Stephon Diggs is an absolute beast.
So Mike Evans was picked right before Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. Mike Evans is huge,
so that draft, so that was what?
Loaded.
Yeah, so that draft was 2014 draft.
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins was the 4th pick, so he was the top receiver taken.
See, there you go. And look at Sammy. I mean, who would you rather have on your team now? Mike Evans or a Sammy Watkins, who's not elite?
And then Mike Evans went 7th, and Odell Beckham Jr. went 12th.
Right.
And then that draft was pretty good. I mean, you look, Brandon Cooks went 20th.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good draft. That was a pretty good draft.
Right, I remember that draft. Like I said, it was just so many receivers taken.
Marquise Lee was the next one to Jacksonville.
Oh, he's trash. He's out the league now, I think. The guy from USC, right?
Yeah.
USC wide receivers really don't pan out well anyway, so I don't know if people want to try.
And then Devante Adams was the number 53 pick to Green Bay, way down in the second round. He may be the best one.
Yeah, and that, I'm gonna get to it right now.
Allen Robinson was in that draft. Allen Robinson went 61st, and Jarvis Landry went the last pick of the second round. That was a loaded draft.
Yeah, like I said, it was a loaded draft, and to me, Mike and maybe one of the other guys are probably one of the best ones. But like I said, I got Diggs 3. Diggs had a monster season. He came from the Vikings. He found his buddy in Josh Allen. Josh Allen was out there bombing away with, his number one receiver, Diggs. And they just lit the league on fire. Like, who's stopping Stephen Diggs? I think Calvin Ridley and Diggs are probably the 2 best route runners in the NFL. That's just to me, route running wise. So I got Diggs 3. And then for my top 2, I got Hopkins. I got Hopkins at 2. I just can't give him the number 1. So I used to give him that. But I just think, like I said, just him transitioning to Arizona. Like I said, it's still solid. I mean, I think he's still number 2 for me. I think I got DeAndre Hopkins second. He gives Kyler Murray that number 1 elite receiver threat. Christian Kirk, was on the other side, and you got these other guys with Isabella, and now they just picked off the guy from the Bengals this past,
AJ Green.
Yeah, AJ Green this offseason. So, but Hopkins is elite. He's a monster. You can't guard him one-on-one. He's gonna marsh you. He just makes plays. And then my number 1, I think one of y'all said it. My guy Adams. Adams is a beast, man. Like didn't he score like 20 touchdowns last year, or at least close to it? I mean, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he had 18 touchdowns.
That's crazy, man. As a receiver to score 18 fucking touchdowns in a season, knowing you're the number 1, receiving threat when you play Green Bay, and everybody was, hoping that Green Bay drafted a receiver last year. They were like, hey, I hope they take another weapon to help out Aaron Rodgers. And they said, no, we took the quarterback with Jordan Love. They sit on the bench and, I guess develop. He'll someday start. But you could have took a receiver with that pick to help these guys out. But like I said, Adams, he's their offensive threat, man. And like I said, there's no... going into the game when you're sitting in the defensive film room, we got to stop this guy. And I saw it firsthand when they played the Bucs in that playoff game where he lit Carlton Davis on fire. Like, I was just looking like, you got to get somebody on this guy. Like, Carlton Davis is a suspect corner anyway. I was hoping they put, Sean Murphy-Bunting or Dean on him. Davis just a little too slow, and he just grabs a little too much. And then he also stiff-armed his ass. That was just a play that stuck out in my mind during that playoff game. But, yeah, that's my list, man. So, Thielen, Kupp, Odell at 10, DK at 9, Ridley at 8, Keenan Allen at 7, Tyrae Hill at 6, Julio at 5, Big Mike Evans at 4, Stephen Diggs at 3, Hopkins at 2, and Mr. Devante Adams at 1. Go ahead, fellas.
I don't know if I have a top 10.
You may have a top 10?
Exactly in order, but Devante Adams is definitely my number 1. DeAndre Hopkins is definitely my number 2. I agree with you with that one, Big Rome. 3, believe it or not, Stephon Diggs.
So you got Diggs 2 or 3?
I got Diggs 3.
Okay.
Diggs 3. He's had some help. He had Josh Allen, which is a massive arm. So it's like, that's how that go. Believe it or not, I'm going to put Mike Evans at 4. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit of a reach, but as you know, Rome, I've been talking to you how good Mike Evans is. He just enjoyed. He had Jameis Winston eating W sandwiches and whatnot. So now that he had a good quarterback behind
that's
the line.
What I'm saying, yeah.
He balled out, and this kind of supported my statement when I was like, Mike Evans is a top 5 wide receiver. Y'all playing, and people were like, I'm like, yeah, okay. It took this season to realize that. So that's what I have at that's who I have at 4. I'm gonna go with 5, Calvin Ridley. I agree with you.
Yeah, really.
Really.
He's
Ridley's
amazing,
nice.
Right?
Ridley's nice. I think they're gonna move on from Julio with that chance, and that's big shoes to fill. And I think they can Ridley is proven to be good. He's just a younger guy. You don't see him a lot in Atlanta. Wasn't really on the spot as much because they were, for the lack of word, bums.
Right.
So
they bummy.
Yeah, absolutely scrubs. So I think I'm gonna have Calvin Ridley at 5. Next, I am going with Adam Thielen.
Yeah, Thielen is a dog.
Adam Thielen. Thielen is pretty nice too. So I have him definitely going right after that, and I also have his partner Justin Jefferson right after him.
Yes, now, bro, I'm gonna need you to tell me something now, bro. This dude had a rookie season now. Now tell me, how do you have Jefferson on this list? Top 10 receivers in the league, bro.
Well, I mean, like you said, some people are going like based off of people they've done for years or what they've done. At this point, I'm going for season by season as what you've done for me now. Right. And and that is strictly off of like the number one season. Like as far as his first season in the league, he has had like a top 10 wide receiver season. Now, overall, will he be that? I don't know. I think he's pretty good. I followed him at LSU because I also watch LSU, and it's like one of my college teams. But outside of being that, like certain guys kind of translate very well, and also I was very high on him with the draft as well. So I seen his skills absolutely translate to wide receiver as far as the NFL. He could be pretty good. So
I mean, if you look at the stats, I mean, Thielen did get all the touchdowns. Jefferson did all the work to get them within the red zone, and Thielen got the touchdowns. Exactly.
I'm looking at those stats right now. I'm looking at those stats right now. Because what? Thielen had how many touchdowns? 14. Yeah. And Justin...
He had 14? God.
Yeah, and Justin had 7. So he did half of that work and beat him in yards, stuff like that. So, yeah, he was kind of doing the heavy lifting. I get the whole thing as far as
Jefferson almost doubled him in yards.
Yeah, and that's what I get that what Rome said. Adam is definitely taking on a bigger assignment, but when Justin gets half your touchdowns and almost double your yards, that's kind of ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. Now, if he had him maybe by a few yards, a few hundred yards, I'd be like, all right. But he almost doubled his yards. That's ridiculous production. I'm looking forward to that. Now the rest of the list kind of gets a little crazy. Because I'm putting.
What about Hill, bro?
I'm going to put Tyrae Hill. Yeah, next after that. I believe. And reason why I was probably like, whoa, that's crazy. Tyreek Hill really only has speed, and we saw that.
Yes, sir. We saw that. And also, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Also, and don't get me wrong, that's not a bad attribute to have at all. It's a great attribute.
15
I love
touchdowns. Speed. That's production.
That is production. But guess who also is at helm behind him? Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league.
Right.
So we're not going off a duo.
Tell him, bro.
Duo.
Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy. Come on now.
Yeah, he's had some stuff drawn up for him. If we're going off duo or we're talking about offense in general, I'd be like, all right, yeah, he'll be higher on the list because how he contributes to that trio, him, Kelsey, and Patrick Mahomes. But
I forgot about Kelsey.
If we're going off based off just wide receiver, that's where we get it gets a little weird. So I know people probably going to listen to it like you're crazy, but that's my reason behind it.
No, you're not crazy, bro. You're just smart. You just know your sports. Some people going to have that dude number 3 or some shit. Bro, did you forget about Devante Adams, Hopkins, and Diggs?
Crazy.
Really?
Absolutely, yes. Outside of that, though, a 4, I can see him being at 4. So anyone who listens to have him at 4, I can honestly see that. But
right.
Patrick Mahomes is just such a huge weapon. Maybe I'm putting too much stock in Patrick Mahomes. Actually, I lied. I'm not putting too much stock. Patrick Mahomes is great. Some of the best talent we ever seen grace the field, and that's just really it. So I'm not putting too much stock in that.
So how do you rate then the receivers with mediocre quarterbacks like Allen Robinson in Chicago?
I like Allen Robinson.
Do you have him? Let me ask you this: do you have him on your top 10 list though, Allen Robinson?
I'm looking at these numbers.
Man, I want to hear them damn numbers, man. I'm asking, do you have him on your list?
He had Trubisky at quarterback, and he still got 1,300 yards receiving.
No, that's true.
He is nice though. Nah, I'm not gonna knock Allen Robinson because I wish the guy some luck because.
Nick Foles and no offensive line. And
I know he's a dog. I'm not trying to clown, dude.
1,300 yards receiving in Chicago with the weather in Chicago too.
I give him that. Like I said, I'm not a hater, but is he top 10, bro? Top 10? Is he better than Keenan Allen? Is he better than Keenan Allen? Is he better than Ridley?
He's not better than Ridley. He's not better than Keenan Allen. I think Allen Robinson is pretty good. I think he just edges out of that top 10.
Yeah, me too.
He had Nick Foles when they went on that run, correct or no?
Or
was it after?
Let me see.
Because Nick Foles is not a bad. Nick Foles is not a bad quarterback.
Yeah, Nick Foles.
He's not.
He played half the year. They started with Trubisky, benched him, went to Foles, benched him, went back to Trubisky. Trubisky got them in the playoffs.
Yeah. Trubisky. Yeah, Trubisky.
But it was 80% of the balls went to Allen Robinson. I mean, he was double, tripled, and he still made plays.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be mad at the top 10. I think he just edges out just a little bit, though.
Because think about that Chicago offense. Who else is on that offense?
That's true.
I mean, they got Mooney. Mooney's a young dude, but he ain't nothing. Like he ain't like a wide receiver number 2, like a Juju Smith or Chris Godwin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but they're okay. You know what I mean? But go ahead, J. Let me let you finish your list.
I'm gonna put it like this. He got 151 targets. That's still ridiculous.
Robinson?
Yes.
Yeah. He all they got though.
Yeah, he is all they got. And actually, you know what? I don't think they had a really bad offense at that point in time. They had a few other people. I don't know if y'all can
they were terrible. They were terrible. They were averaging.
You said terrible.
So they were averaging.
That's how you know it's bad.
That offense was averaging 6 points a game in the NFL.
Really? Was it? I mean,
with that defense.
That's true. I'm about to say with the defense.
I mean, they went a 7-game stretch where they didn't get a touchdown.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, Keenan Allen definitely does deserve to be a higher on the list. But I mean,
so far you got Adams at 1, you got Hopkins, you got Diggs, you got Evans, you got Ridley, you got Hill at 6. Who do you have after Hill?
I have. Oh, did you make sure you put Justin in there too?
Oh yeah, Justin Jefferson after Hill. My bad. So Justin Jefferson. Who's after that?
So at that point in time, I also think David. I think I'm going to say as far as Chicago to get back there, I think they had a decent rushing attack. That's where I was getting at. But wide receiver, you're absolutely right. That's all they had. At that point, who would I have? We're at 6, right?
No, so let me look. So your list is Adams, Hopkins, Diggs, Evans, Ridley, Hill. What's the dude from the Vikings? Jefferson at 7.
Yeah, Jefferson at 7.
So you got 8, 9, and 10 to go. So who's your 8th, 9th, and 10th guy?
Okay, so my 8th is definitely Jarvis.
Okay.
Jarvis Landry. I think he's been kind of doing production for a while, long production for a while, and that's also the difference. I'm about to say that's the difference between what I was talking about. I was going to bring up with Z and Allen Robinson. Landry was doing work in Miami, which at that point in time, Miami was absolute bottom, like 2 teams in the league.
They were bottom feeders,
yeah. So like Allen was doing his thing, but his production's been kind of scattered depending on the team. Jarvis has been a baller since through and through. He probably honestly should be higher off of longevity, but I'm really just going kind of based off last season in my opinion, unless you have a lot of longevity with it. So I mean, he may be a little higher. He could be behind Adam, honestly, in my list. But yeah, so I got Jarvis at 8. I got DK Metcalf at 9. I mean, because as far as Russell Wilson just creates a lot. Like they're trying to kill him throughout the pocket, so he has time.
How about what do you think of Tyler Lockett? I mean, his numbers. If you look at his numbers compared to DK,
he ain't top 10, no.
Tyler Lockett was balling.
100 receptions.
He was balling. I
was balling. Yeah,
absolutely balling.
100 receptions, double-digit touchdowns, 10 touchdowns.
But is he top 10 in the league? Those top 10, bro. This dog. These are all dogs. I don't have him in my top 10.
He's one of 5 guys who had 100 receptions last year.
Yeah, I ain't want to hear that shit, man. He ain't on the top 10. I don't want to hear that shit, man.
Actually, 6.
God damn, Tyler Lockett. If you had to pick somebody, 10 guys in the league, shit. I mean, I'm not Cowboys fans can make a case for fucking Amari Cooper. And I don't even like Cooper. That motherfucker, he go to sleep in the playoff games and big games. You can't find his ass. You know what I mean? Like, some people might have Terry McLaurin. Like, Terry McLaurin is better than Dude to me. You feel me?
Like Terry so if you look at his numbers, 87 receptions, 11-18 in yards.
11-18 yards.
But he was hurt. He missed 4 games. So think about that.
Ooh,
yeah. I'm about to say Allen was pretty injured too as well, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Allen was.
Yeah. Oh, what's your last one, Jay? My bad. Who's your last guy?
You good. I'm gonna say my last one. Believe it or not, this sounds crazy. Call it what you want, but I'm gonna say possibly DJ Moore.
Oh,
just over last season.
Sleeper. Oh shit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm a dope sleeper. Watching them, Teddy Bridgewater was great, but he wasn't a big arm guy. As far as receptions, you have 1,100 yards with only 66 receptions, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, the only person that comes to production like that with like a low count of receptions is possibly AJ Brown of Tennessee. But Ryan Tannehill is definitely a better quarterback than to me in that current system back in Tennessee, better than Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh yeah.
So
by far, yeah.
Yeah. So DJ Moore is definitely one of the sleeper picks. I know it's gonna surprise a lot of you.
How about Robbie Anderson on the other side, man?
They the receiver loaded. Then they had Curtis Samuel last year too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing, and that's why Teddy Bridgewater. That's why you gone, brother. You know what I mean? Well, you gotta be gone, brother. You got 3, elite receivers in the league, probably top 20 guys in the league. You know what I mean? You got 3 top 20 receivers in the league, and you can't make nothing happen, bro. Like what are you doing? And then, Christian McCaffrey was hurt. I give you that, but you got to make something happen, man. You got to make something happen, big guy.
Look at that.
I like your list, though, Jay.
Yeah, Moore and Anderson. Over 90 catches, over 1,000 yards. No, Moore only had 66 catches and led them in yards in comparison to Robbie Anderson with 95 catches. Wow.
Yeah.
And DJ Moore had more yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it would be a lot less impressive if he didn't have the low reception count that he did. Oh my gosh! But that means when he got that ball, he made every opportunity count when he got it.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So that absolutely matters to me.
Yeah, solid list, man. I like it. All right, Z, let me see what you got. And before we get started, Z, don't you fucking have Claypool on this list, man.
I thought about it.
I'm just fucking with you. He's nice, bro. Go ahead.
Steelers spread the ball out so much, so their numbers are distorted from last season. I mean, all 3 receivers, in my opinion, are top 25 in the league.
Yeah. I'm just fucking with you.
When you look at their numbers. But as a pure, if we're talking best receiver, Stephon Diggs, to me, is up there. Hopkins is up there. I love Jefferson. Just because he can run routes, he's big.
You got Jefferson at 3?
Not at 3, but I love him in the top 10.
Oh, okay.
But definitely, I would take Hopkins over Diggs right now, but they're neck and neck. I mean, Diggs was special last year with a strong arm quarterback in comparison to Kirk Cousins because he complained all the time with Cousins. And that's why he got out of Minnesota.
Yeah, but look what happened. He lit him on fire.
But definitely, that would be one. Ridley had a standout year, but again, it's taking advantage of opportunities in Atlanta. So they always blew leads and had to throw the ball a lot. So he got opportunities. Probably the biggest impact receiver is Devante Adams. I mean, if you think about weather in Green Bay, you think about...
It's amazing, man.
Yeah,
18 touchdowns in Green Bay. Bro, like, when you play football, my bad, Z, let me say this real quick. When you play football, bro, for anybody that's played football, there's a difference when you play out in that cold weather, man. There's some days when you go, I play ball. Like, I played, collegiate, college, and then, I don't want to tell you the rest. But anyway, when you step out on that field, in that turf, and you playing on that grass, and it's cold out, you don't want to run the routes. You don't want to go across the middle. Adams is doing this in frigid temperatures in, going into the Christmas months of the year. And like you said, I mean, it's just amazing that what he's doing. I mean, when you playing on that grass compared to turf, I mean, you got to wear those high spikes compared to, on turf you can wear pretty much almost shoes. It's crazy. But go ahead, Z.
No, yeah, definitely. He didn't have much on the other side, so he was the main target. Everybody knew he was the main target, and he still had the most touchdowns in the league. I mean, that take it on double teams, take it on triple teams. Safety always shaded to his side, and it didn't matter. I mean, of course, he's got Aaron Rodgers, but still,
he had no threat on the other side. Like he had Marquise Valdez. I mean, who are you? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you all right. You know what I mean? Like, he had what? Did he have Devin Funchess? Did Funchess play for them? Well, he played for the Colts. I couldn't remember.
The fact that we know, like, we don't know right away shows the amount of impact he had.
That's what I'm saying. And then he had the big white dude at tight end. You know what I mean? Who showed out and balled. I mean, you just got the Packers. You got to stop Devante Adams, and can't nobody. There's nobody has shown that they can stop him.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, who else you looking at?
As far as, I love A.J. Brown just because he's physical. He runs routes. He runs deep. He runs across the middle. He runs every route in the route tree, and he's also a big physical receiver. He's one to watch. I love Terry McLaurin with the Washington football team because they really have nothing else. I mean, he had Dwayne Haskins as his quarterback. He missed 4 games, and he still got over 1,000 yards receiving.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
87 catches, 11-18 in yards.
Right, and they have no really receiving threat other than him. I mean, they got, the Sims guys, Steven Sims, and forgot the other dude. One of the dudes dropped the fucking ball in the playoff. Dude was wide the fuck open in the playoff game when the Bucs played him. Motherfucker lost the ball in the sun like he was playing baseball. It's nighttime game, bro. You gotta wake your ass up. But
and so imagine this year with Samuel on the other side now.
Yeah,
he's gonna explode. I mean, if Fitzpatrick can be halfway decent for him.
Oh man, I do not want to play Washington this year. Like I said, me as a Bucs fan, I think we play them this year. I think the Buccaneers play the NFC East, the Cowboys, Giants, and the rest. Washington. That's gonna be tough because our defensive backs are a little suspect, and with Fitz, Fitz is. A lot of people might be like, oh man, Fitz ain't nobody. Like, watch him this year. He come here and shut down the whole fucking city. And I live out here. We live out here in the DMV. We're gonna be seeing fucking Fitz magic and all this shit on local television. Oh, like, watch, yeah. You know how it is. When
he showed up with the shades and the jacket, I was like,
yeah. Oh, man, and he had the fucking taco meat hanging out and shit, the fucking hairy ass chest, bro. You gotta shave that shit, you feel me? Yeah, man. But go ahead, Z. Who else you looking at?
So that's pretty much. The ones that stand out to me. When you look at somebody like Robinson or DJ Moore or McLaurin, you gotta consider their quarterback situation, and they still put up numbers, and so they definitely have to be looked at because they're not playing with Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes or Deshaun Watson or somebody, a Pro Bowl type quarterback. They're Aaron Rodgers. They're playing with the bottom barrel quarterbacks and still putting up numbers.
You're right, man. And
these scrubs.
Yeah, the scrubs of the scrubs, for real. I'm just happy Mike's out of that situation. Mike Evans, down in Tampa, because he was doing all this with Jameis Winston, man. Like I said, we saw what Jameis Winston was. He did lead the league in, touchdowns that year, but guess what? Yeah. He also led the league in interceptions too, big guy. So I don't want to hear that.
Gunslinger, bro. He's just a gunslinger.
He like a Brett Favre. Yeah,
30-30. 30 touchdowns, 30 picks.
That's a crazy stat, man. I'd still laugh about it to this day, man. But, nice list, man. I like everybody's list and input on that.
And the exciting part is the draft is full of receivers, too. So
I know, man. That's why a lot of these dudes weren't getting picked up, like these big free agents. It's like, why would you pay a big free agent receiver guy when you can go out and get a Jamar Chase or a Jalen Waddle or You know what I mean? Even a tight end out of Florida. He's crazy.
And rookies have showed at the receiver position that they can just step in, whether it be a Jefferson or a Claypool or any of those young receivers. As a rookie, receiver position is one position where they've been able to pick things up quickly, adjust, and produce and add numbers. As long as they have a decent quarterback, they got a shot to be good.
Yeah, you're right. So, I mean, like I said, we'll see. I mean, this draft is receiver. It's one of the best receiver drafts on paper. I mean, we don't know, how they're going to pan out, but, I mean, there's a lot of guys in this draft that have high hopes, I mean? Like, me personally, this guy, he's not even being talked about. And I saw him, and Z, you probably know him because you watch a lot of West Virginia football games. The dude from, Oklahoma State, Tylon Wallace? Like, nobody's even talking about him. They told me he might go into the fucking second or third round. Yeah, I'm like, Jesus.
Big guy, 6'4", can run routes. So the controversy in their bowl game, he played the first half, and he quit at halftime. Said, "I'm prepared for the draft," because they were losing. And so he was like, I'm gonna check out right here at halftime and protect myself for the draft. Because I think one of the other players
smart decision.
Yeah, he got it. One of the other players got hurt in the first half, so he saw that dude get hurt, and he's like, I'm not playing. He took his pads off and sat down.
Yeah, he said, fuck this shit. I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm going to leave. You know what I mean? Like I said,
messing up the money.
You can't. I'm all for it, protecting your investment. A lot of these guys were, the NFL Network and ESPN. That's why, I mean, we got our own, platform, because a lot of these guys, they got ties to these guys, and they pay their agents, and they're paid to say these things, from platforms. You know what I mean? So, I'm all for protecting your investment. So I wasn't really knocking these. Even when Leonard Fournette, when he was in college, I mean, he said, he didn't even participate in the bowl game or a few games or whatever. And then I think with Christian McCaffrey, same thing. Yeah, he didn't get the same type of backlash as Fournette, but a lot of people were mad he didn't play, saying he's not a team player and all this shit.
He was the original one. He was the first one to do that, and then everybody started following suit. Because remember, was it the Michigan tight end Jake Butt who got hurt?
Jake Butt
tore his ACL, MCL in the Orange Bowl game.
Oh yeah, he ruined himself. Yeah. So he was going to be a high pick. Yeah,
first round pick, ended up being, I think, a third or fourth round pick with Denver, but really hasn't. He's their third tight end. They drafted another tight end, Nate Fant, and then they drafted another guy. They drafted three tight ends. Yeah. So that Orange Bowl injury crushed him.
It did, man. I mean, and then you look at, like I said, another dude. I mean, Dallas, you got yourself a steal with Jalen Brown? Yeah. I mean, not Jalen. Yeah, Smith.
Linebacker, Jalen Smith.
Yeah, Jalen Smith. I mean, it's incredible, because he was one of the top dudes in the league, and he got hurt before the draft, didn't he?
He got hurt before the draft, and the Cowboys lucked out because his stock fell, but the doctor that did his surgery is the Cowboys' team doctor. So they were the only team that had the true medical on him.
Yeah, so I mean,
nobody else had that information, so the Cowboys drafted him. And
the rest is history. He was a late pick, right? He wasn't.
No, they picked him in the second round, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but they were talking about him being like a top 10 guy.
Top 5, top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of messed up his. I'm happy he got his money. He got to that second deal though.
He would have dropped to the fourth round if their team doctor wasn't the doctor that did the surgery. So the team doctor assured Jerry Jones and crew that he will be back.
That's good, man.
That's the story of him being in Dallas.
Yeah, I'm all for these guys getting their money.
And his brother was in Dallas too. His brother was a running back for the Cowboys at the time. So they had his brother on the team as a running back, and then their doctor did his surgery. So they had all the inside information no other team had.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shoot. Let's chat a little bit about our squads, man. So, I mean, I guess who want to kick this off? So, I mean, our squads, how we looking this year, what we looking to get done. And, I mean, as you know, for me, my squad, we trying to go for 2. We trying to get back to the bowl, baby. But what y'all feeling about y'all teams?
I think Raiders still want to be around the 8-8 type of mark, possibly.
You good, bro? You sound kind of sad, man.
Yeah, nah, man. I'm tired of getting up hopes. We make decent moves. A lot of them don't pan out. You know, we had Antonio Brown. We're gonna be all right. Then he acts a fool, which is not a surprise. Then we get Henry Ruggs and a few other people. We're like, okay, this is solid. You know, we maybe do it. Henry Ruggs had a decent season, but was pretty injured for a lot of it. So
he caught that bomb though. He caught that bomb against.
I lost an apartment. Oh my god, it was going bananas.
My god, I was happy. I remember that vividly because I won that money. I fucking bet on y'all. I was like, motherfuckers, y'all better not lose my money. And then he throws a bomb for a touchdown at the end of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and they
for the money. So,
they fired that dude the next fucking day. Greg Williams. They fired the fuck out of him.
They ain't just found. They fired the fuck out of him. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's true. So, no, I mean, it's one of these seasons like with the Raiders. It's always like, what are we going to do? What are we going to see? Right? We didn't draft a lot of potential. Well, we did, but as far as like free agency, we kind of picked up a lot of potential people with Thomas. I can just project seeing, we got Yannick. He's not really a potential guy. We know we won't get from Yannick, but there's a lot of like what is we're going to see, right? Especially with the deep issues within our pass rush, and that is what I can't wait to see. We did pick up Carl Joseph recently, brought him back. I didn't think we should have let him go, but between Abram and him, they both kind of like, we're going to come and smack you type safety, so that's going to be interesting. A lot of missed coverage, blown coverage is what's going to happen for over aggressions.
Right. Who's your corners? Y'all got some decent corners?
Well, we still got Arnett, and like I said, Mullen is the only decent one. Arnett is still like to be determined since we drafted him last year. So Amik Robinson, I like him in the slot. He's absolutely phenomenal. Friend from a lower school, but he got that dog in him. So I don't know. We got a lot of things that we may need to pan out. It's a lot of guys going to step up the second season.
Right.
So scary.
What about your Washington squad?
Washington is going to be also phenomenal due to the fact that who they're playing in their division. Cowboys suck. Cowboys fucking sucks. We're not worried about Giants really too much. Giants may be a problem. And if Jalen Hurts comes out to be decent, there we go too. But when you got that strong defense, super strong defense down there at Washington, they shouldn't be worried about nothing. Then you got Samuels and Scary Terry. The football version of Scary Terry, not basketball. They're pretty solid. I think they're gonna be solid with Raz, Fitz Magic. Washington would love to have another quarterback, which I'm hearing they're trying to trade up in the draft. But as of right now, they're gonna just be a problem. Fitzpatrick, don't do too much, bro. Don't do too much. Just do your thing. Just don't do too much. Let the defense handle it. It will be okay.
Yeah. Shoot, man. Z, what you looking at? How your Steelers looking?
This is going to be an interesting year. It's a year of transition for the Steelers.
I hope y'all run the ball more, man. Ben can't be dropping back the pass 30-plus times a game, man.
Yeah, so first step, addition to Matt Canada as the new offensive coordinator, that's the plan, to run the ball more. They did not re-sign, well, as of yet, haven't re-signed Connor, who's still a free agent. At the running back position, so I don't think he will be back. They may draft a running back as a young back to join Anthony McFarland from Maryland, who was drafted last year. They did lose Bud Dupree, and so again, that Steelers are known. Tomlin's never had a losing season, so yes, it's a year transition, but it's just going to be how quick the younger players can make an impact on the scheme and do what they do. They did bring back Juju for on a 1-year deal, so that's again making us stronger. they go about 6 deep at the wide receiver position, and so offense, as long as the offensive line can be stabilized and they can run the ball, offense will be fine. Defense, they're getting younger. They do need to add a linebacker, middle linebacker. Definitely, they get Bush back from injury, which will be good. Need to add another linebacker to join him. So a middle linebacker with speed would be beneficial. I see another typical Steeler year, like every year, another winning year in the playoffs. We'll see what they do from there.
Must be nice saying typical Steeler year.
I know,
winning
right?
Yeah, I know.
Playoffs.
I know, man.
That's the one thing you get with Tomlin. Never has ever had a losing season.
Amazing.
Even the year where they were down to their fifth quarterback, they still had a winning season.
Oh, when they had Duck and all them dudes.
Duck was the quarterback.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, if you win the games with a dude last name Duck, I mean, yeah, that's pretty incredible. But Pittsburgh, man, like I said, I mean, Pittsburgh, like you said, they just put out good squads each and every season. It's just amazing the run that they always have.
Yeah,
I just hope they run the ball more.
Next man up. I mean, yeah. So now the best move is having Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator. Now the issue may be with Ben. Matt Canada's offense has a lot of motion, a lot of shifts, a lot of things that Ben doesn't like. So, if you look at his quarterbacks during his career, I mean, he was.
But that's a good thing, though.
Yeah. So every quarterback he's had has been fairly mobile through his college career. So it's going to be interesting. I mean,
but it could be. Yeah. I mean, you remember? I know you probably remember. Remember when they had Todd Haley as the offensive coordinator? Ben hated him. They hated each other. But he was. What, that year, I think he was close to being like the MVP or something. He did some incredible work that season.
And that was the transition from Arians, because Ben loved Arians, right? And ownership wanted to run the ball more. Arians was into throwing it 50 times a game to make Ben happy. And so what happened? They didn't renew Arians' contract. He went on to Indianapolis, and the rest is history, as you can say.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, Steelers always put out good product. Like I said, we just joined the party of, I can't even say another typical Buccaneer season because we just got good. You feel me? I can't even say that.
You might as well call them Steelers South.
I mean, we could, but like I said, we just haven't. I mean, we had the 1 year. I mean,
Steeler alumni on their whole coaching staff, basically.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but Mike Tomlin got his start in Tampa, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So true. Yeah. But I mean, Pittsburgh. So let me talk a little bit about my Bucs, man. So Tampa, as we all know, we won the Super Bowl last year. We beat Kansas City. I think this season they got pretty much everybody back, man, except AB. They signed Fournette. They got in Sue. They got a few of these other guys in additions, and everybody comes back healthy, and they got time to reduce his contract. I think the Bucs, man, and just my unbiased, opinion, I think they're going to be at least in the NFC Championship game. I think the Rams will be on the other side with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp at the receiver, and Robert Woods, and then you got Higbee at tight end, and those guys, and then you got the defense with Ramsey and Aaron Donald. But for the Bucs, I just think, we're just going to be an NFC Championship again. I mean, you had a legend retire in Drew Brees, as much as I don't like him. He's retired, so you got you're going to be in combination with Jameis Winston and Hill, who's a gimmick quarterback under center for the Saints. You got the Panthers, who are going to be starting Sam Darnold. And I wish Sam Darnold the best of luck, but, I mean, not against us. I don't see him doing anything major against the Bucs. I think those are two wins for the Bucs. And then you got Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta plays is pretty tough, just because it's a division game. They'll probably have Julio back, and then you got Matt Ryan. I mean, that's always a tough combination. When you got Matt Ryan's not a bad quarterback. I mean, when you got Matt Ryan, and then you got the guys we talked about, Julio Jones and Ridley out on the outsides. I mean, it's tough. But I mean, for the Bucs, I see them having another great season. I think I see them going 11-5 or 12. Actually not. I guess with the new schedule change now, let's just say, put it this way: I see them winning over 11 football games and winning their division. I think they have everything in place. And we even heard Tom say it, right? He said, they didn't even have a full off season. Everybody's going to come back. O.J. Howard was hurt last season. He's going to be a big piece for them, from what I'm hearing. And then you're bringing playoff Lenny back to put in the backfield with Ronald Jones. Then the defense, I mean, we're going to be healthy now again. I mean, Villa was out. A lot of people don't remember. Villa was out most of the season, the regular season, and came back for the Super Bowl game and just did work. But Villa is a huge part of that defense. He takes on double teams. You cannot block him one-on-one. He pushes the pocket. Then you got Devante David on the defense. The only suspect piece for me are those cornerbacks. I just do not like Carlton Davis. I just don't like Carlton Davis, man. I mean, he's just a little too slow. He's really grabby. He's a solid guy. I hope they don't pay him because he's going to be coming to the end of his rookie deal. I like Dean and I like Murphy Bunting, though. So I hope they can keep those two guys. But, yeah, I mean, I think Tampa, they're going to be right in the thick of things right down to the end.
Okay. Well, I mean, thick of things. I got y'all running it back, honestly. I don't see a team. There's not a team in the NFL that I can see that can stack up against y'all roster from top to bottom. So, another Tom Brady ring probably ain't coming. Honestly, probably. Most likely. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's that definite, but it's definitely a most likely.
I hope so, man.
I bet you do.
Yeah, man. Shoot, let's close out the show, fellas. Y'all got any good? Y'all got any bets? I'll start off. So for mine, I'm looking at a game here on Tuesday night, NBA game. So it's the Clippers versus the Pacers. It's a 7:30 game. Looks like it's on TNT. Spread hasn't come out yet, but I would say keep an eye on that one. If Kawhi plays, if Paul George plays, if Pat Bev and all those other guys for the Clippers play, I'm pretty confident in taking the Clippers on the East Coast. They're going to be playing in Indiana. I don't see the spread being crazy, so either the Clippers with the points or the money line. Well, definitely money line if everybody plays. They just have to definitely watch out for Sabonis in the post because he's a big dude and he's having a really solid season. So I like that game. I would smash this other bet too, man. I mean, the same night, Tuesday night, the 13th, I'm looking at the Suns, Phoenix Suns playing the Miami Heat. It's a West Coast game. It's going to be in Phoenix. The Heat, as you got the new additions with Victor Oladipo, and then the Phoenix Suns are just red hot. I think they just came off a win a few nights ago where they beat, was it Utah, and it was kind of talked about. And Chris Paul's really showing up, and Devin Booker's doing his thing. So I'm pretty confident in taking the Suns money line in that game over the Heat. It's a West Coast game, so if you take the early bet with the Clippers and they win and they cover the spread against the Pacers, you can turn around and put your money on the late game, the 10 o'clock game with the Suns beating Miami. So I like those two bets. This other game here, it's going to be a special game, man. I want to see how it shakes out with the 76ers and the Nets. I don't see the spread being high on this game, or if it could be a toss-up, to be honest, or pretty close. I think the Nets will be favored by like 2 or 3 points. But I'm pretty confident in taking the Nets. Any close game with the Nets is where it's a toss-up. I'm pretty confident. Even though they did lose, they lost a few nights ago to the Lakers. And this is just piggybacks what we were talking about on the other show, fellas. I mean, the only way the Lakers can beat LA to me is in the post. And we saw what Drummond was killing these guys. You know what I mean? He got at them in the post. So, I mean, like I said, LA, they beat the shit out of them. Shoot, don't be modest. They beat the shit out of them. I mean,
Big Drum with 20, 11. He didn't score that many points, but
yeah, he was a presence though. Yeah, he was a presence. The thing is his presence in the post, man. Like a lot of people sleeping on LA because they see the Nets with the high, these flashy guys and these big names. But if AD and Brown come back and they work on that post work, and if it's the Lakers and the Nets in the finals, I think it's a toss-up, man. Because like I said, if they really, because can't nobody guard AD. But like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about later that in another show. But yeah, I like that game with the Nets and the 76ers on that next night, Wednesday the 14th, depending on what the spread and the money line is. But go ahead, fellas.
Yeah,
you want to go, Z?
Only game I'm looking at is Jazz Thunder Tuesday night. Jazz over the Thunder. Thunder been struggling since Gilgeous Alexander's injury, and so I look for the Jazz to easily take control and win that game at home.
Nice pick.
Tuesday night, I'm going with you, like you said, the Clippers. Definitely the Clippers. Definitely Atlanta for a few days rest. Probably parlay that, and I'm also going with Utah. Those are going to be my solid three. I'm a little weird on Utah Jazz, depending on OKC Thunder, depending on how that goes, because the young guy's been balling. I've been talking about Theo for a while now. He's balling. Shai Alexander's injured, I think. Still injured. If he is injured and it's just Alex, I'm going Utah. I'm going to hit that with a parlay. Should be easy money, fellas. Should be easy money.
Good stuff, man. All right, fellas, we're going to wrap up here. So that concludes the show today, fellas. Everybody, thanks as always. Continue to support the show. Be sure to subscribe on all major platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube page is up. Leave the 5-star ratings, reviews, and we will see you next show. Take it easy.